Hey guys, I'm Tony Dean Smith.
And I'm Ryan W. Smith.
So welcome back to another week of Behind the Scenes. This week we're going to be sitting down with the most recent person to be cast in our film, the one and only great friend of ours, great collaborator, Frank Cassini.
Yes, we're so happy to have Frank on board. Frank is incredibly talented, and he started out on the TV series Miami Vice, then Goodfellas with Martin Scorsese. He's gone on to work in so many other projects, including Continuum, The Killing, The Bridge, Intelligence, also The Watchmen, and many other films and TV series. Frank is also a screenwriter, and he and his brother John wrote the screenplay for Break a Leg, in which they also starred and produced. Frank is also a lifetime member of the Actors Studio, and we are incredibly honored and thrilled to have him on board. So, without further ado, here is Tony and Frank.
Growing up as a kid in Toronto, my brothers and I would always hit the matinee movies, and there were like 2 or 3 playing in one afternoon. I just remember going home after watching the movies and feeling different. Like I just felt emboldened. I felt like maybe I was one of the characters or something. And then, as time went on, I guess I went into film and television production at Humber College, and then I just thought, when I was in front of the camera to be in other people's projects, it just became really something that I kind of got in tune with. And then I went to New York. I just went there because I wanted to study. I wanted to kind of get into the world of the actors that I started to emulate at that time, which were the De Niro's, the Pacinos, Yeah, eventually became a member of the Actors Studio, and so that was a big kind of, for me, a bucket list kind of checkpoint, and it just started to, realize that you have to hone your craft. And these guys are not just doing it on screen by accident.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And so I thought, wow, okay. So I started to understand the language of acting, and I started to understand what's behind it, and taking class after class after class, in New York and LA, of course. So it gave me an eye opener, not to get away with crap.
That's right.
Like I remember De Niro one time said, you got to earn the right to play a role. You got to earn the right, man. You gotta do some work. That's kind of basic.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, I just saw him again recently, and I love De Niro, but I saw him in Jackie Brown, and he plays a very quiet character.
Yeah.
But he's doing so much.
I know. There you go, man.
He's
That's
doing
what I mean.
so much by doing nothing, and there's just so much weight
That's
to
what I'm saying.
every little
That's what I'm saying.
choice.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Trusting that it's enough because it's real to you, and you have to trust that the audience is going to respond.
Yeah.
If you don't trust it, and if you don't even want to go into that place, you're going to be doing so much that people are going to go, well, what the hell's going on, See, what I like about a lot of the people that came out of there, that they, I think, consider themselves as character actors before they consider themselves whatever lead or movie star means. They ended up being leads, of course, but character actors, because they got deep into roles.
Right.
They got, and that's what that place is about is, going back to Stanislavski, which was the godfather of it all, right? It became Lee Strasberg's kind of baby from that, and called it the method as opposed to the system. And, it's about personalizing the work. It's about making it real as opposed to representing an idea of it, which we had seen in the 30s and the 40s. Everybody was kind of kind of the same in a way, or one note, or nothing bothered them.
Right.
And then Brando comes on, and it's like, what the hell is that? Like Streetcar in New York turned Broadway on its ass, as I understand. I spoke to people like, were you there? Oh yeah. Oh, I was there. I go, what? Tell me about it. Because these are elderly people I had made friends with, some at the studio, and they said it was everything you hear. It's true. It was just amazing. It was just electric. What I remember is just his undying and unending energy and passion, as we can assume, right?
Yeah.
But he was just so attentive, and he would never stay behind the camera after every take, shouting direction across the room or something. He would come and talk to you and make sure that, that you were together on this, and just great things. I had a chance to meet his father. They had a great relationship, and his mother, they're always on set. And he was just great. I was there on the last, I did 9 days, and I got a chance to see De Niro real up close working. I got to see, you know, some you know, great filmmaking from him in the way he kind of like, I didn't think of it then, but the way he just commands a set without really commanding a set.
Right.
You know, like he wasn't like bang bang, but people were all doing things that in that direction. Use yourself. You know, they're always worried about, well, what about my character? You know, like there's really no character without you. You got, you know, like let's utilize you first. Let's make sure we're using you before we even think about a character, because you got to know who you are, and you got to know about, you know.
It's fascinating. That's so true. I mean, that just seems like something that...
Like, you never stand like that. Why are you standing like that? Now, look, your leg isn't even touching the ground. Your toe, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Oh, my God.
Right.
Because you're tense. Because you're thinking about stuff. You're not really... You're not you.
And that, I would think, would take off so much of the weight, because if all you have to do is just be the best you that you can be,
man.
then you're unique.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own thing, and like, there's of course subtleties to character that you can add to it, but you're right.
That's right.
Start
And
with you.
a small thing would be like, sometimes I'd say, so she said that to you, right? So how do you feel? Like, if she said that to you, what would you do? Oh, then do it.
Right.
See what I mean?
Right.
Then do it.
Right.
But what about my character do that? Your character would do anything that you do believably.
That's right. Well, Frank, thank you so much. Thanks for doing this.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Frank is an amazing guy, and you know, as we've mentioned before, we've had our eye on Frank for a very long time, and I think we're just very fortunate to have somebody with that level of craft and passion and knowledge, you know, to be working on our film.
Yeah, it was cool seeing that, because Frank really exudes so much authenticity around the role. Like, when we think about the role that we have for him, he's just the perfect guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've been thinking about these characters for a number of years now, and we had Frank in mind for such a long time. And he's the kind of actor where he does so much work that when he walks on set or in front of the camera, you kind of just believe he is that character, and he can do it so easily. And of course, there's nothing easy about it, but anyway, we're just very fortunate.
For sure. So please join us next webisode when we're going to do a tour of our production office, which is just starting to come together.
Yeah, so we're basically around 3 months before we go to camera, where the insanity really starts. And so we have this, you know, little office, which is also going to be where we're going to build our props and set deck, etc. And so it's also where we're going to be scheduling the film, taking meetings. So we're excited to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse into our little office.
Yeah, and until then, you can find us at volitionthemovie.com, also on Facebook at Smith Brothers Film Company, Twitter at Volition_movie, and we're on Instagram as well at Volition the Movie.